Okay, so why do people resist selling? Obviously, fear of rejection, fear of looking stupid, all that. It boils down to the feared, dreaded objection. So for those of you who are just beginners, or if you're teaching people that are new, let me just give you a little drill. It's right out of the Little Voice Mastery book. We do this in our Sales and Leadership Mastery program. We get personally coached in this process, but it's a very simple process, and it's simpler than you would think. You see, handling an objection has very little to do with coming up with a snappy answer. That's what people think, and that's why you put yourself on the spot, because sometimes our brains don't think that fast, and sometimes we're a little intimidated, and sometimes your emotion goes up and your intelligence goes down and you can't think. But here's a surefire way. It's in Little Voice, in the book Little Voice Mastery. In the book Little Voice Mastery, there's 20 techniques we talk about, and one of them, technique number 13, is how to handle any objection under the sun. Okay, so I suggest you use flashcards or get a couple pieces of paper and write down your worst objections, nightmare objections, the ones that stump you. Could be you're too expensive, you don't know what you're talking about, I hate salespeople, whatever it is. Write them down, each one down on a separate piece of paper. Then you get a partner and you drill. And the way that it works is this, is that if I were working with you, or you're working with me, and you would read me the objection. So you would say, your product is too expensive. Now, my job in this drill is simply to say, acknowledge it and ask a question. That's all. That's all. Don't do anything else. Acknowledgement by saying, thank you, I understand, I get it, or whatever, and then ask a question. So if you say, your product is too expensive, I'd say, thank you. What are you comparing it to? That's it. Okay, that's all you need to do. But typically what happens the first time you get the objection is you'll stutter like this. So you'll say to me, your product is too expensive. And I'll say, now when I go, it's because my brain's not thinking. So then you just stop. You just stop right there and you keep repeating the objection to me till I nail it. Till there's no hesitation, till there's no stuttering, and I got it. So it'll be like this. I'll play both rules. Okay, watch. Okay, your product is too expensive. Thank you. Stop. Your product is too expensive. But stop. Your product is too expensive. Thank you, but what? Stop. Your product is too expensive. Thank you, but why do you think it's too expensive? Yay! High five. That's a win. Until you get it. Now do it again. Why? Your product is too expensive. Thank you. Why do you think it's too expensive? Thank you. Why do you think it's too expensive? It's just a repeating process that reprograms an area of your brain, and so your emotion comes down and your intelligence comes up, and you can handle objections. Now it can be anything. If you want to go on to handle the objection later, that's fine. But what I find is that most people come up with great comebacks to the objections like 10 minutes later after the conversation, which is too late now. So what I recommend is look at this. It's technique number 13. Simply repeat the drill over and over again until it doesn't fluster you to give an answer. Each time you'll feel the pressure ease. Your emotions will lessen, your intelligence will rise. I advise doing this exercise knee to knee with somebody else to get the greatest impact. Your partner should be as harsh and as difficult on you as possible. Now why? I want to be harsh and difficult on you as much as possible. Why? Because if you make it hard in practice, it'll be easier out there. People are trying to make it easy on themselves, and then it becomes difficult out there. The key to practice, the key to training is you train harder than you're going to have to deal with in the game. That's always how it works. And if you're not practicing objection handling and your sales require you talking to somebody and converting them, you are killing yourself. You're hurting yourself. I can tell you that when we drill, like I said, in 10 minutes than they do in 3 months. Why? Because your little voice is what's blocking you from making sales. It's not even so much the objection. It's your fear of the objection. It's your fear of not having answers. So your brain is pretty plastic. You can drill it out you can drill it out of there pretty quickly and practice. Because practice will get you what you want. Dreaming about it, not so much of a certainty there, okay? So practice, drill and practice. Be amazing.